Hello, Dolores. I heard that you're going to visit your parents' house soon. Apparently you're going to be there for a while. Could you tell me why?
Huh? Did I tell you about this already? Because I don't think I've told even Araldo or his father about this yet.
One of the mother-in-laws of your friend is my friend. I heard it from her. Don't tell me, but is this you preparing to get divorced with Araldo? Or are you just preparing to live separately with him?
No, it's neither of that. You see, I've been assigned to work at an office near my parents' house by my company. My parents' house was close by, so I thought I might as well just move in with them.
I see. So that's the reason. I thought you were getting divorced with Araldo. To think that I was so excited that I was going to finally be free from living in a multi-generational household.
Looks like you still hate me as usual, mother-in-law.
Of course I do. I mean, me and my husband would never have moved in with you two if my husband didn't suddenly get hip pains. Not only that, but I was making preparations for Araldo to marry a daughter of a friend of mine, but you appeared out of nowhere and married him.
I heard that Araldo only met this friend of yours after he graduated from college. But me and Araldo have been going out ever since we were in high school. What do you mean I came out of nowhere? If anything, this marriage proposal of yours is what came out of nowhere.
Shut up. All that matters is that Araldo wasn't supposed to marry you. That's the reason I don't like you, Dolores. And I'm the type of person who shows no mercy to anyone I don't like.
I see. Well, at least that makes dealing with you easier then. I also am the type of person who thinks that it isn't necessary to try to get along with someone you don't like.
Huh? What's with that attitude? You talk like you're my equal or something. You're not my equal, Dolores. I'm your mother-in-law, which means that you have to do what I say.
Yeah, I've heard that before. Maybe if you actually did anything helpful around the house, I would have believed you. But the truth is that you just lay around all day doing nothing. Seriously, not only do you not have a job, but you don't even do the housework. Anyways, it seems like this conversation isn't going to go anywhere. Which is why it's alright if we just end our conversation here, right? I already answered your questions, and talking to each other anymore would be a waste of time since we'd only annoy each other.
What do you mean, a waste of time? I told you not to take that attitude with me, didn't I? I'm still talking to you, so you can't just leave.
I'm currently in the process of packing my stuff, so goodbye.
Hi, Dolores. Can you talk right now? There's something I need to tell you.
Hi, Araldo. What's the matter?
You see, I think we have a bit of a troublesome situation on our hands.
What do you mean, a troublesome situation? Does this have something to do with your mother?
Yep. You see, I found out that she's been entering our side of the house when we were both outside.
What? Really?
Luckily, she wasn't able to enter your room since it was always locked, but she had the spare key to my room, so...
Well, it's not like I had anything to hide. I already moved all my valuable items and things I use for my work to my parents' house.
I see. Well, it's good if that's the case, but it seems that I was right when I decided to prepare for what might happen after you started working from home. I only recently found out that Mom was going in and out of our side of the house recently when I set up a camera, but judging by how she was moving around like she already knew the place completely, there's a high possibility that she's already done this several times before.
What? Really? Do you have any idea as to why she might be doing this?
I seriously have no idea. I checked the cameras and it doesn't really seem like she's stealing anything, so I don't know. Maybe she's just doing it to spy on us or something. The silver lining is that you already moved the stuff you use for work to your parents' house, so she wasn't able to mess with that.
I mean, I couldn't really work while I was constantly anxious as to whether your mom would enter my room or not. I remember how she always used to barge into my room whenever I forgot to lock it and would tell me to do the housework. I told her that I was working, but she just laughed at me and said that I was just looking at my computer all day and that there was no way that was going to make any money.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. My mom still doesn't understand that in this day and age, people can work from home as long as they have an internet connection. Oh, there's one more important thing I need to tell you.
What is it?
Do you remember that my dad talked earlier about how the current multi-generational house we live in is getting quite old, and so either he would rebuild it or we would move?
Oh yeah, I heard that your grandfather was the one who built this house, and it hasn't been renewed ever since.
Yeah, some of the wood is starting to get old, and there's a risk that it could just collapse if a major earthquake were to occur. Anyways, my mom suddenly brought up this topic while you were gone.
Why? Wait, let me guess. Knowing your mother, it was probably something about you guys moving without me, right?
Yep, exactly. She said that we should make plans while Dolores isn't here and just quietly move out without telling her anything.
What? Your mom said that to you?
Yeah, she must think that her son and her husband would side with her no matter what or something. When in reality, me and Dad are almost at the end of our patience with her. Well, at least thanks to her trust of us, her secret plans are no longer a secret, though. Yeah, and there was something I wanted to ask your advice/permission for concerning the matter.
My advice/permission?
It's a bit too important to discuss by text, so could me and my dad come visit you at your parents' house this weekend? If possible, I want to talk to your parents about this as well. It's something really important that'll decide the future of our families.
Alright, I'll ask them if they're available right now. Hi, I'm back. They said that it's fine if you come on Saturday afternoon.
At what time would be good for you guys? We can come whenever.
My mom said that the 5 of us should have lunch together at our house.
What? Really?
Yeah, my parents like you, so apparently you're always welcome here.
I see. I'm happy to hear that, I guess. Alright, I'll accept your mom's invitation. We'll be there around noon on Saturday.
Alright, we'll be waiting for you.
Yep. Tell your parents thanks for the invitation.
Okay. Oh, and Mom was asking what you guys wanted to eat for lunch.
Anything is fine, really, but if I had to choose something, then maybe pasta, I guess? Well then, see you later.
Yep, see you later.
Hi, Dolores. Thanks for having us over today.
No problem. It was a pleasure. I was a bit surprised the way you had to tell us, but I see. If your father is under this much pressure, then it's probably best if we set this plan into motion as soon as possible, right? It's a miracle that he was able to hold out this long. Seriously, I didn't know that your mom was that much of a problem for you two.
Yeah, my dad is a really patient man, which is probably why he was able to put up with her for so long. He says that she wasn't like this when she was younger, but over the years she suddenly became more and more, well, you know. Anyway, I agree. We need to set this plan in motion as soon as possible. I mean, I can't stand my mom always bullying you for no reason as well. Seriously, you're the one who should be getting mad at her for making you do all the housework when you have work to do and she doesn't. Oh, and don't worry about me and Dad. We've already talked this through before, and that was the conclusion we came up with.
I understand. This is partly because you were thinking about what was best for me, right? Thanks for that.
Don't worry about it. Well, that's it, I guess. Me and Dad will do most of the work, so you won't have to do much, but I just want you to make sure that my mom doesn't find out about our plan.
Yep, understood.
Long time no see, Dolores. You see, I'm texting you today because I have good news.
Long time no see. Good news, huh?
Yup. Well, good news for me at least. I guess this is going to be bad news for you, though.
Just what in the world are you talking about?
The demolition of the multi-generational house we've been living in until now starts today.
What? A demolition?
Yup. We waited for you to go to your parents' house and moved out as a family so we could demolish the house. Me, my husband, and my son, the three of us. It looks like using your work as an excuse to move to your parents' house and not coming home even once was a mistake.
Oh, is that so?
Yup. Even my husband and my son have run out of kindness for you because they did everything I told them to do and demolished the house and found a new place to live just like I told them to. Without any complaints as well. Of course, we're not going to be telling you our new address no matter what, so this means that you and Geraldo are going to get divorced.
Is that so? I understand. Goodbye then.
Yeah, bye. Still, I thought that you would have a bit more to say than just, is that so? Does that mean that you're fine with getting divorced with Geraldo? I mean, you have been living at your parents' house for the past few months, so I guess it was only a matter of time. I'll make sure to tell Geraldo about this. I feel so much better now that you're gone from my life. Finally, things are going to go back to the way things were.
Hi, Geraldo. I just got a text from your mother. I don't think I need to remind you, but don't believe her when she says I want to get a divorce with you.
Of course I won't. What did she say?
She told me that our old house was going to be demolished. I guess. Not only that, but she also talked about how you and your dad were on her side, and now how you guys wouldn't tell her our new address. Oh, and she said something about how you and me would have to get divorced now.
You say that so simply, but what I'm guessing is that Mom was a bit more dramatic when she told you this, right? Let me guess, she was probably acting as if she had won or something, right? I seriously don't know what's giving her the idea that we're on her side, though. Because it's not like me and Dad have been actively supporting her or anything. I mean, does she seriously think that me and Dad have just forgotten about all the shit she's done over the years?
That's what happens to people when they get overly narcissistic, I guess. They always think that they're always the one who's right. Do you want me to show you her text tomorrow when we meet?
Yeah. Dad says it's partly his fault for being too patient with her all these years. Because every time she messed up, all she would get was at most a scolding. Not only that, but not having to do anything all day, every day for the past 30 or so years probably has something to do with it. I mean, I remember that she stopped doing the housework and was making Dad do everything since I was in, middle school. Oh, sorry, that was completely unrelated to your question, I guess. But I'd appreciate it if you could show me those texts tomorrow.
Alright, I'm already at our new house, by the way. I'll start unpacking the stuff I already brought from the stuff that seemed necessary.
Sorry, I had to leave that to you. Alright then, looks like we're in the endgame. Me and Dad are gonna go and meet Mom and tell her the news.
Understood. Good luck.
This is terrible, Dolores. Dolores. Answer my phone calls. Since when did you fool my husband and son into siding with you?
Wow, look at all these notifications.
You have to pay me alimony.
What? What's this suddenly about an alimony? Just because you were supposed to move with your family into a new house, but the destination instead happened to be your parents' house, doesn't mean you can get mad at me, you know.
Judging by your tone of voice, you knew about this, didn't you?
Well, yes. By the way, your husband divorced you, right? Or is it just that you weren't included when they said that you would be moving as a family? Or maybe your son Araldo officially cut ties with you and told you that he wouldn't tell you the new address, no matter what.
All of that just happened. Why do I have to be kicked out of the family like this? But it's you who should be kicked out of the family, no matter how you look at it.
It just means that you're the only one who thought that way.
Why?
I mean, for several reasons, probably. First of all, with Araldo. You tried to forcefully choose who he would marry, even though he already had a girlfriend. And when he did marry this girlfriend, you started bullying her just because I ruined your plans. And with your husband, you used up all of the inheritance his parents left for him in 2 years, even though it wasn't meant for you. And when he confronted you about this, not only did you show no sign of remorse, but you started using the money you two were saving up for retirement.
How do you know about all of that?
They told me? Not just that, but I heard from them about several other times you messed up. Be it large or small, but in my opinion, it's a miracle that your husband didn't divorce you sooner. Well, it probably has something to do with how your husband is such a patient man.
Dolores, stop talking so much and just tell me your new address. Oh, and convince my husband not to get divorced with me. And convince Araldo to not cut ties with me.
Oh? But I thought you hated me. And you're still going to make all these demands from me?
Now's not the time to talk about such unimportant things.
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I won't be able to help you with any of your demands.
Why not?
Because just like how your husband and your son are on my side, I'm on your husband and your son's side as well.
Huh? Then just be on my side as well.
That's not how it works, mother-in-law. Well, it looks like there's no point in talking to you, so I'm going to leave now.
Huh?
Wasting each other's time is not going to benefit either of us, so goodbye.
Dolores? But this isn't a waste of time. This is an extremely important matter for me. Oh, I know. I'll accept you as a part of our family from now on, so help me. Why aren't you replying, Dolores? Dolores! I don't understand. Why did my husband and son suddenly turn on me? But up until now, they were always on my side. This is all your fault, Dolores. I know you did something to trick them into siding with you or something. I knew letting Geraldo marry you was a bad idea from the start.
My mother-in-law was sent back to her hometown along with the stuff she thought she was going to bring to her new house. I only heard about the details from Geraldo and his father later on, but apparently my mother-in-law, as usual, did none of the work herself and made her son and husband do all the work. That's probably why she didn't realize anything, including how all of her stuff was sent to a different location to her son and husband's, until the day they were supposed to move, which is when her husband told her about the divorce and her brother came to pick her up in his car. She now lives with her brother's family in the house they grew up in. She lives in a small corner of the house and is no longer as proud as she used to be when I lived with her, it seems. As there she was just some strange relative that was living with her brother since she had nowhere else to go. At a later date, Geraldo's parents got divorced with the help of a lawyer. The amount of money my mother-in-law spent that wasn't hers goes up to several tens of thousands of euros, but in the end, it was decided that there would be no property division after the divorce, and she would pay back the money she spent monthly. She had to get the money from somewhere, so she found a job and started working. Luckily, she was hired by a local company to do work. Even she, who had basically zero work experience, could do. But it seems that people in her hometown already knew about that personality of hers, as many of them knew her when they were students in school. Geraldo's father says that she wasn't like this when they were younger and when they first fell in love, but the people who knew her from school, on the other hand, say that she was always the narcissistic and selfish type, and her husband was just too kind of a man to see it at first. This being the case, my ex-mother-in-law spends most of her time not working alone at home, only sometimes talking to her relatives, which were the only people that would ever talk to her.